What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. It's been an absolutely terrible weekend out here at HQ. Got here yesterday. It's just been pissing down rain pretty much ever since, so could not get the skyline up into the shed because it's just way too wet. It makes way too much of a mess. But I did start on some wiring. It's not going to be enough to make a full video out of this, so this is going to be the start of a video. I'll continue later on. As you can see, this is my first 31 episode with short hair, so it sort of gives you an idea of how far along this project was before the content came out. The content just lags because I'm trying to build up a fair bit of it. But anyway, I started on this wiring. This here is just a standard R31 RB30 engine loom, which was actually sent to me by a fan that watches the channel, Lachlan McCaffrey. So big thank you to Lachlan for sending this to me. It's got me out of a lot of trouble. I first unwrapped it last night. I was sort of having a bit of a look at it. I found this big old mess. It's almost like all of the earths are spliced together. At the beginning I sort of thought someone's really messed with this real bad, but it's actually, I think it's actually just standard. Because Luke did give me back a few pieces of my old engine loom. So this is actually a remnant of the old engine loom that was in the 31 previous, and it has the same sort of joins in it. Get this camera to focus. So it's got these same sort of joins in it with the earths, where they seem to be like they must have from factory spliced in all the earths together. I'm no wiring guru. I don't know a lot about wiring. But me and Dad were talking about it last night. We assume that the reason they would do something like this is that so that if one earth fails, it doesn't kill that that signal or whatever that earth's coming from. So basically all your earths are always going to find a way to earth, which does make sense. It also makes it fairly easy for fault finding, because it means if you've got a problem with a sensor or something, you could just test for continuity through the earth through that wire and see if it's broken or not. So it makes a lot of sense actually to do it that way. So I'm pretty sure these are just earths that are spliced together, which makes my idea of how to tidy this up a bit more lengthy and annoying, but that's not a big deal. So pretty much all I've done here is I labeled all of the things I need and a few things that I didn't need, just so I knew what they were. And then I used I got a diagram of the pinouts offline of the standard ECU plug pinouts, labeled what I need. I cut off the plugs, left a little bit on the plugs so that if I need to, I can go back and double check what's what. So cut the plugs off because I'm not going to need those. And then I just pretty much started working back from here all the stuff that I don't need. So this is all the stuff out of the loom that I'm not going to use. It's just things like MAF and a few other things that's just not going to be used for the Microtech. So my plan is to pretty much just, as I go, peel these back out of the loom and then just wrap it back up with little bits of cloth tape as I go. And then when I get to the ends of them where I don't need them, there should be earths on the same plugs. So once I get to them, I'll start peeling those earths back out and work them back to here and just cut them off wherever they splice in, and then seal up wherever they were spliced. That way it sort of leaves any earths that I can. It doesn't remove any earths that I don't need to. But yeah, because these are all spliced together, it's pretty much impossible for me to know which one's which from this end. So I'll start from this end, pull out all the positives or the signal wires back to where they need to be till I get to the end, and then I'll pull the earths back. And as I go backwards, I've got this proper I don't know where it is. I've got some proper loom cloth tape. Sure, it's somewhere around here. Might be it here. No, that's not it. Alright, I don't know where it is, but I've got some somewhere. I've got some cloth tape, which is for looms. So I'll wrap it back up with cloth tape, and I really wanted to tidy. I thought about just cutting this and just splicing the Microtech into it. That's actually where I started. I started labeling all the Microtech outs, which I also got off the Microtech website. So as you can see, the Microtech loom is very, very simple. There's not much that it needs. But the other thing is you've also got these plugs which connect to the body loom, which obviously carry a few probably signals and stuff that go back to the dash and that, which I want to keep working, because as you guys know, my eventual plan is to put this car back onto the street, so I would like to keep everything working. So that's why it's a lot of work to strip out the loom like this, but it gets rid of a lot of stuff that I don't need. Tidies everything up a lot better, which is going to just be a lot better for things like fault finding if I have issues, and it's just going to look a lot nicer, because I've got the forward facing and I've deleted the AAC and I've got no solenoids on the manifold. Like that's a MAF plug, which I don't need. I don't need MAF. That's O2, which I won't be using. The Microtech does have provisions for an O2 sensor, but I'd rather just, yeah, if I do end up going O2, I'll just run a new wire. Then you've got things like, these are just for solenoids on the manifold, which I don't have. Like there's so much stuff on this Loom that I can take out that I don't need to have. So it's a lot of work, but and it's tedious. You just got to be patient in doing it and just sit down and get it done. But it's definitely one of those things that I can do at home during work. Like the past couple of weeks, I've just been getting bombed with work. I haven't had a chance to really work on the Skyline in the past 2 weeks. Even then, this is the first weekend I've done it, and it's just terrible weather. I didn't get to do what I really wanted to, but went on with this wiring. So anyway, I'm going to take this home and do it during the week between work, because it's something I can do at home. It's just got to sit down, take time and do it properly. And then it's a lot nicer at the end to have a nice clean Loom. So anyway, that's going to be the start of this episode. I will continue it when I've sort of got a bit more of this Loom done. And yeah, once that's all stripped out and then pulled back and laid back in and taped up, I'll just splice the Microtech, the pigtail into it, and should be happy days. So big thanks to Lachlan for sending me that. I would have been in a fair bit of strife if I didn't have that. But no, it's got to be good. It's got to be nice and clean when it's done. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week now. What's going on, guys? It is now the next weekend from the last clip that I opened this video with. I've done no more on that wiring Loom at all. Just haven't really had time with work. I thought I would have time at home between like work this week, but I just didn't, and I was just wrecked all week. So I didn't do that. But Rex is back from Mount Isa. Rex put Rego on the XR6 Turbo and just decided to go and drive it to Mount Isa to see a friend. So, I mean, yeah, went all good, he reckons. A few more bushes he's got to do in the back, but it made it home. It's here, so that's a good thing. So Rex is actually, Rex is putting the new turbos on VEE080. So this is going to be another one of those sort of mixed episodes where it's a bit of 31 and then a bit of VEE080, because if you try and film it all in one day and then try and split it into 2 videos, it just makes it real weird. Nothing really makes sense. So it's just going to be a combination. What up? Here we are. So we've got here our new Kinugawa GTX2867s.
That's correct.
Which were purchased from All Performance Garage.
Thanks, Mick.
Mick at All Performance Garage actually, he is a dealer for Kinugawa and Link ECU. So if you're in Southeast Queensland, you need any Kinugawa gear or Link ECU gear, definitely hit him up. He's a really helpful bloke. So as you can see, these are incredibly smaller compared to the old 3582s. To these ones.
Yeah, I had them lined up before as a bit of a comparison, but I'd put the second one on to start doing this dump.
Is this the one for the big block?
Yeah, that's the 88.
88 mil. Anyway, this is meant to, well, earmarked at the moment is this turbo is meant to go on the big block in Raucus, the blue 1-tonner, on E85. So we'll get to that one day, along with all the other crap we've got to build. We'll get to that. So anyway, Rex, because they were so much smaller, the frames are so much smaller, the housings are so much smaller, they didn't actually line up with the dump pipes anymore. So Rex has had to refab dumps.
You can actually see over here, that's where that used to sit. And you can see that there's actually quite a height difference. That side was even worse.
Yep.
But yeah, so it's actually required a bit more modification to the dump pipes than I initially expected, but you know, it happens. So
you get that with cars.
That side's done. It's not as neat as I'd really like it, but it's going to get heat wrapped anyway.
Yeah.
So no one will know unless they watch this video.
And unfortunately, had to cut out the ceramic coating.
Yeah, it won't be ceramic coated, but it's going to be wrapped anyway, so it's not really a bit big a deal.
Oh, cool. Rex also bought some new beanies for these turbos because the ones that were on the 3582s just sort of fell apart.
They're trash.
Well, I think they were also very, very hot compared to what the initial built use is meant to be.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, there's some new beanies. So yeah, V8 is getting a bit of a liven up. Rex has actually decided also to try and refresh the crossover for the intake. or for the turbo basically into the intercooler to try and free up a bit of space behind the radiator and try and work on getting a bit more airflow to keep temps down in the bay and to sort of keep operating temps down a bit.
Yeah, hoping to remove a little bit of restriction behind the fans, because the outlets on these 28s are only 2-inch, whereas the 35s was 2.5, so we can afford to go down to a 2-inch pipe, which will give me a bit more room. Other thing I did last night too was actually put a brand new Pro Sport performance balancer.
Oh, that's right.
That's the other thing I did last night.
Got a brand new harmonic balancer.
Yeah, I after pulling, because we've been chasing a bit of an engine vibration that rears its head sort of probably the worst between 2500 and 3500 revs, but it's sort of there all the time. I thought it could be the balancer, because it had done, like that balancer's done nearly 400,000 Ks. But
yeah, this was a high K engine.
After pulling it out though, I really can't see anything wrong with it. So, you know, I don't know if the new balancer is going to fix it.
Well, I've told Rex, because this motor's got like a pretty nice little torquey cam in it, and it's all been rebuilt and stuff. And it doesn't vibrate really high at RPM, or you don't notice it. So I pretty much told him that if he decides he doesn't want it, I'll chuck it in the Cressy, because it'll always do 6,000 RPM anyway.
Oh, I think we need to have a discussion about that. I would put a new crank in it. I would.
That's not very cash money of you.
Well, as I've already said, if I have to pull this motor out, it isn't going back in.
Exactly. So that's why I say if you've got to pull this motor out, I put it in the Cressida.
What about the motor in the Cressida?
There is no motor in the Cressida yet.
Well, true. Actually, that's true.
We'll see how we go anyway. I don't even know what's going to happen with the Cressida at the moment.
Because remember, I need all the top end. You're going to buy me new lifters, cam, springs, all that sort of gear that's in the top of it, the trunnion upgrade. What about my high volume oil pump?
God. This is not very cash money of you, Rex.
Not cool, man.
Can I have it? Anyway, so my plan is to pretty much just film a bit of this and probably drag the 31 up, chuck it in this bay, and just to keep working at the wiring a bit. And I've got fuel injector seal, so I can finish my fuel system off. So just a few things I just want to keep going on with the Cressida. 31, sorry, not the Cressida. This 3582 would look real nice hanging off the side of the barrow in the fucking wagon. So this is my life now. This is how I have to get the 31 into the shed now so I don't get it stuck. Build a low car, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Alright, so the makeshift ramps actually worked pretty well as far as getting it into the shed, but still scraped on this little bit of a rise on the driveway. So, yeah, I don't know, it's freaking low. Once the exhaust is on, yeah, it's gonna be, I don't know, I'm just gonna have to see how it goes, I suppose. I don't know, I don't really want to raise it. I like that it's slammed, but it's gonna be very inconvenient. Now, I'll just see how it goes then, eh? So pretty much first thing to check with this is going to be this this pesky handbrake cable that's been seized. It's been marinating here in this concoction of petrol and oil for like 3 weeks now. So if it's not freed up now, it's not gonna free up. But anyway, I'm just gonna pull it out of this thing and just see how it works, see if it's working. Alrighty, so that 3 weeks in frickin' solitary has managed to free it up. So it's freed right up, but you can see if this camera will frickin' focus. Why won't you focus, you piece of junk? Oh wow. Bear with me guys. Frickin'. And this is why I film with a frickin' GoPro. None of this crap. Alright, so it's freed it up, but as you can see at this point just here, it's actually quite frayed and not very good, but I'm still going to chuck it in, use it anyway, just because it's the only one I've got. I just had to, yeah, it's that was 3 weeks in petrol and oil mixture, Plus I just used some unicorn piss just then just to sort of free it up, but it's going in and out all good. It's just that one frayed bit on the wire, which is absolutely not ideal, but as I said, I don't have any others, so I'm just gonna chuck it in and run it, and hopefully it'll be all right. It's not like I'm actually using it for drifting or anything. It is literally just gonna be for the purpose of having a actual vehicular handbrake. I'm gonna have the hydro as well, so hopefully it just works enough for that, and I can get away with it. All right, so I've got my new injector seals. So that means I can pretty much put my fuel rail together and actually get my fuel system finished off. So given that that's going to be like in the way of this, before I do that, I'm actually going to put in my new plugs. I've got my new spark plugs here that I got from Repco. If anyone watched that episode, RP17C or whatever they are. What are they? R5671A7s. So I'm going to gap these up to 0.6, put them all in one by one. Then I don't have to get around the fuel rail to do it, and then the new injector seals can go on the injectors, and I'll chuck the fuel rail in. I've got to put the fittings on the fuel rail first and like actually seal them up, make sure they're tight and do all that. So it's going to take me a bit, but then once that's done, that'll be fuel system pretty much complete. And then yeah, I'm sort of procrastinating on this wiring because I don't really want to do it because I'm just not. Wiring's one of those jobs where it's just like it's really tedious and long and annoying, and you just got to be patient and you've got to be in the mood to do it, otherwise you do a shit job, and then if you do a shit job of wiring, it'll plague you forever. So I'm sort of just not feeling the wiring at the moment, so I'm going to go on with this stuff, do a bit more fun stuff, and just keep probably leaving all the shit jobs until right at the very end and never finish the car. Alright, so new plugs are in, gapped in, installed, rails sort of ready to go. I actually have to use the little adapters they give you because the GTR injectors are a 11mm top, not a 14, but that's alright. And then I've just got my dash 6 fittings in the ends and this weird little bung, which is the thing I couldn't actually find any adapters for. I didn't do that to tie it because it's a bit dodgy, but it's got no ring on it, so I'm hoping it seals alright.
Those little spacers, did it come with them stock or did you order them?
Yeah, no, it comes with them.
Oh, sweet.
This whole kit, like it's a full injector kit. I actually just realised that those bottom seals are probably pretty close to exactly what I need. So I may have wasted all my time getting RB30 injector seals.
Well, at least you got spares.
Yeah, I'll keep them aside.
We've got a couple of RB30s sitting around. So.
Yeah, but all the seals are rooted, I already checked them.
Yeah, so we might need them.
Oh, right, I thought you meant, yeah, okay, yeah. No, that makes sense. Rex is here, has completed his dumps. So.
Phrasing.
Yeah. Rex has finished his dumps, they smell great. Anyway, it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, it's sort of, when I first chucked them on there, I was pretty upset because I thought it was going to be really painful, but it actually wasn't all that bad. Just a little bit of trial and error, some test fitting here and there, and they've bolted up pretty well. So now it's just the
cold side.
Which
and these will get all wrapped up again. I'm pretty sure. We said that in the last frame.
Gonna reheat wrap them. The heat wrap is on its way. It's being delivered soon.
Oh, what colour heat wrap did you get?
Black.
You know, I've got like 4 rolls of it.
Nope.
Well, no, you do.
Yeah.
There's like 4 rolls of it just down there.
Yeah. Well, from the supplier, because I did mention that the last, like, this stuff was black and turned white, but the supplier said that they've actually changed their product, or they've switched to a different product, which apparently is a graphite type and is supposed to actually stay black.
Right.
Which I'm actually not real happy about because now
it's going to be half black.
Now it's going to be half black and half white.
Yeah, shit.
Give me the cheap shit.
Alright guys, skip a few days. What you just watched just then was Friday night. It's now the next Tuesday night. So, what happened here? I put the fuel rail on and then pretty much had the same issue that I had when I tried to do it with the LS injectors. So the fuel rail just does not pull down on the injector tight enough. Also, as you saw, I actually used the little adapters that they gave you with the rail. Anyway, so that happened, and then I just didn't really want to pull it back off, and then I looked at it for a while, and then some mates came over, and then we just had a big piss up, and I didn't do anything. So that's what happened there. So what I'm pretty much going to have to do is just pull the rail off. The little feet that actually connect the rail to the manifold, I'm going to just grind a couple of mil off the bottom of them. And while I've got it back off, I'm not going to use those adapters on the rail. I'm going to actually put some 14mm seals on the injectors. and piss those adapters off, so that the injectors actually have 14mm O-ring seals, which is the right size for the rail, and then the rail should pull down a fair bit more on the manifold and it should seal properly. So still need to do that, but anyway, that's like that was like the third weekend in a row that I did like pretty much hardly anything on the car, and it's just given me the craps how much it's dragging on these last few things. So this next week I got a little bit of time off work, and I'm hoping to really smash out almost everything that's left to do on the car. So Rex is here. Rex is over here doing a whole heap of fuck that, is what it looks like to me.
Oh, it's bullshit.
So that's a BA XR6 turbo, and that there would be a dash out of it. So pretty uncool. Yeah, nah.
Yeah, that's what you have to do to replace a leaking heater core in a Falcon.
Well, fuck that. I would just throw mine in the bin.
I did think about it, except I'm already too invested in the car. Lesson learnt though, next time if we ever get a Falcon and they're like, oh, the heater's disconnected, bin it. Just bin the whole car.
Don't bother.
Don't bother.
Well, that looks wild. Anyway, Rex has finished putting your turbos on the VE080, so we're just going to go for a quick drive. It's going to be cool. Way louder than it was before. Yeah, the actual turbo noise. Nice. I like it.
It's got a difference in response. Like you go from there, it's just fucking.
Way better.
I don't know if you can feel it, but like the difference in response is just insane.
Yeah.
Like to get it to do that before, you used to have to wait, and you'd wait. If you took off from here, it'd take until the donger to come on boost. Like,
yeah. So V80 sounds and feels like a totally different car. That was yeah, pretty awesome. I'm actually going to do like a full like actual update of V80 that we can put on the On Song Facebook page and stuff. So keep an eye out for that video. That will be coming at you, I don't know, soon after this one probably. But anyway, so pretty much at the moment, still to go on this, I've got the fuel system sorted, finish the loom out. I've got to finish the exhaust. I have to fill it up with fluids, bleed everything. I still have to build my intake, sort out my... Right, okay, so there's still a fair bit to do. Pretty much my plan at this point, today's Tuesday. I plan on tonight and tomorrow getting the loom and the fuel system pretty much sorted. Get the throttle bracket in and get a throttle bracket made for the throttle cable onto the throttle body because I don't have one. And then I hope pretty much tomorrow afternoon, I'm hoping that I can hook up a battery and just turn it on, make sure the ECU sort of turns on, make sure the fuel system turns on, the fuel pump sort of primes and it does everything that it should, and check for leaks in the fuel system. After that, Thursday I got to go back to the coast, and then I will come back probably on Friday, and hopefully by then I'll have belts and a battery, and then I'm hoping that Friday, Saturday I can just pretty much smash out as much left that I can. And hopefully by the end of Saturday I'm hoping to sort of be able to turn the key and start it. So I need to buy a adapter cable so that I can plug my laptop into the Microtech so that I can load on all the programming and stuff and the tune that I need to load onto it. But yeah, so I'm just looking to hopefully push this forward because it's been dragging along for the past 3 weeks quite a bit. So yeah. Alright, it is real cold, and this is a really, really long and annoying job. But it's getting done, and it's, you know, it's going to be nice when it's finished. So what I ended up having to do after what I talked about pretty much to start this video, I did actually have to pretty much start from the ends of the plugs and start working back, and it was much easier to do that. So I started pretty much there, working my way back, deleted heaps of stuff. This is everything I deleted from the harness. So as you can see, there's plenty in it that you don't need when you go to aftermarket stuff. I'm going to keep all this handy because I need all this wire, because my Defi Advance, all the sensor wires are too short. I need to extend them all. So I need all that wire to extend some other wires, do some other wiring. So I'm going to leave this open at this for now while I splice in all of the ends for the Microtech, which I have labeled here. So that's quite easy to do now with this stuff. It's just a matter of stripping, soldering. I put my new injector plugs on. I bought this set of... well, if I can get the camera to focus. I bought this set of pin tools from Wish for next to nothing, and they've actually proven to be very, very handy. So I use them to get the old injector plugs off the old wiring, or what I had left of the wiring loom from my old wiring loom. And I put them on this one because this one didn't come with any injector plugs. I will have to extend this TPS plug because I have a forward facing. But basically I've just used little bits of cloth tape to keep this bunch together. I will lay this down in the car and connect everything before I actually properly tape it right up. So there's not much left at the end of it. We've got like the module, the ignition module, the CAS on the Dizzy, then you've got the coil, and then you've got some two temperatures senders. One's for the dash, one's for the ECU. Then you have your 6 injector plugs and your TPS and some earths, and that's literally it. So there's once you strip it all down, there's not much in it at all. So it is going to be a lot nicer having a loom this simple and tidy in the car. So I've got I'm pretty sure I explained this at the start of this video, but it was like 3 weeks ago now. So, but yeah, I've got this what is it, the Tessa loom tape, which is like a proper cloth tape. This stuff is just like real cheap stuff off eBay that I've just been using to do these little bunches, but when I actually come to tape it up, I'll be using this better quality Tessa loom tape. So it's getting pretty late. It's probably how I'm going to leave it for now. The other thing with the Microtech is you got to group your injectors. They're grouped in twos. I'm not actually sure what they are, but I do have the old groups here, which I've kept handy because they pretty much will tell me exactly what I need to do while I'm tooling the Microtech. But anyway, this episode's probably going to be pretty long. Rex has just about got his dash back in now, and it's getting late and cold, so I'll probably call it a night here, but I'm glad to have that finally done. This was a daunting job that I was sort of not looking forward to. I'm glad it's pretty well over. All the hardest parts pretty well over. I'm actually doing this splicing's going to be quite simple. I've got some little bits of heat shrink, which I also bought off Wish. I just jumped on there one day and there was heaps of really useful stuff for next to nothing, so I just bought a heap of stuff. But I'll go more into that tomorrow as I use it, which will be the next episode, because I'm going to wrap this up now. Sorry it's been such a long episode. Sorry it dragged on for 3 weeks, but yeah, hopefully this project really starts to wrap up very soon, because I really want to drive. So thanks for watching, guys, as always, and I will see you on the next one, which will be hopefully finishing off this loom and sorting out my fuel system, and then maybe checking for some fuel leaks, hopefully. Cheers, guys. Catch you later.